Hello everybody, it's LE Diecast, and I have no idea what the sound is going to sound like in this video or what the lighting is going to look like. We're still putting together the satellite studio here. So just to recap, I'm moved and all my equipment is not moved. So you can go back to the last video and kind of see why I disappeared for a while and what the next couple months is probably going to look like in this show. But my plan was to start getting back into some sort of the hobby of customizing, at least on a small scale. So I've got a little bit of equipment and a few cars to work with. Now, the hunting in the stores out here really isn't a big deal. In fact, it's way easier than it was back in California. I'm not going to tell you where I'm at yet because we'll make that part of the fun in another video. But at least where I'm at, there are hardly anybody collecting Hot Wheels, so actually finding stuff in the stores is super easy. However, if you've been watching my show, you know that I tend to look for bulk and look for deals, so I'm usually looking for either Real Riders, bulk cars that nobody wants from sets so that I can tear them apart, or some older cars that I can get at a deal to start with for the bodies of the customs. So what you're looking at here was my little mini haul from a Hot Wheels show that I went to this morning. They do have a show out here where I'm at. Again, I'll promote the show in a future video. They're not going to have another show for a while, so I'll promote my new community once we get to that point. But that would give away the secret of where I am. And the whole different scenario as far as shows out here where I'm at. They really take their collecting seriously, so I wasn't going to find any deals on anything with Real Riders on it, so I had to really dig. So we're gonna, I think this first round of customs that I do is going to be it's going to be pretty low level, I think, as far as what I'm used to, and I guess they'd be good videos for beginners because I don't even have all the equipment I need, so I'm going to have to buy some of the equipment as we go. So you can see it's a bunch of Cudas, it's a bunch of Chargers, muscle cars in general. Just, these were all 50 cents or $1. And pretty happy with what we found, but as far as customs go, it's going to be a little slim pickings with these. Now I did find some cars with Real Riders on them. I'll show you what I ended up getting. That little Johnny Lightning does not want to stay. So I found a few, and I had to really just dig through the bins of 50 cent and dollar cars for these. But these are the cars that are going to get trashed, so I want the wheels on it. So, and like I said, these are not even what I would usually be using, but you can see they've got some decent wheels on them to use. And the pickings get pretty slim. Like I said, I wasn't going to pay $5 for a car to use the Real Riders on just to tear it apart. And I certainly wasn't going to pay $8. So I found a bunch of these stock cars, Racing Champions. I don't think any of these are Hot Wheels or Johnny Lightnings. It looks like they may all be Racing Champions. I think they are. And Goodyear is evidently going to be our sponsor moving forward, because we're going to have a lot of Goodyear tires. So I don't usually use these tires. I guess we'll have to see what we've got to work with once we open these cars up and start using the tires. But you can see there's some pretty neat cars here. For the tires, I've got an idea of what I want to do in the first round of customs, and I was particularly looking for tires like this one. I know the lighting is bad. The lighting will get better, but my lighting equipment got left in California also, so and the coloring on like this one, that was what I was particularly looking for. So, found them. Didn't pay anything for them. But again, we'll see what's waiting for us when we open these up. And thought we might be able to have some fun with those tires on this one. This one's totally trashed, but threw it in just to round out the $10. We'll have to clean those tires up. Probably some dead bugs in that one. But those are our Real Riders. I thought this one was rather funny. This car was in one piece when I bought it, and I either smacked it on the side of the door getting it out, or it literally just fell apart. But he's gone into the wall. Although I really want those tires, so I don't care about the car. But I have no idea what happened to that poor guy. He just imploded. Yeah, racing champions don't make them like they used to. Oh, that was Hot Wheels. Oh no. That was a Hot Wheels. So I think Zamac metal's pretty cheap to start with, but I think they used an extra cheap batch on that. I did also find these, and I'm not sure, I'm probably not gonna use the wheels on all these, because some of these I kind of like, but I found these for, I believe, I want to say they were $2. I got them for about $1.50 each. So there's some cool ones. Of course, I went after all the Cyclones, the Talladegas, the Chargers. There's some tires on that one we can use. Some of these have rubber tires on them. Again, here's another one with those red rims on it. We'll probably use something like that. I know the lighting's bad. There's not much I'm going to be able to do about it for at least a couple videos. I'll try to fix it. If you could see what I was working with here, you'd see that our professional studios are not what they usually are. So these are all going to be at least looked at for possibility of using the tires on them. Zoom out a little bit. Did find a few neat things at the show, and I might as well show them to you before we get on with the next thing. Found this little Tonka. Looks like a little toy. I've never seen this one before. Tonka made these 64th scale. You can see it's 5 of 55. They didn't make a lot of them. That's collection 3. That might have been the last collection they made. But Tonka did make a 64 scale for a while. They're kind of fun when you see them. You don't see them a lot. I don't think they sold very well. They had some others, but that was the only one I was interested in. Also a little Zalmex. I'm not for sure how you ever pronounce this one. You can see it on the bottom there. I always pronounce it Zalmex. It's a Chinese, whoops. It's a Chinese company, I believe. I had this one as a kid. I have another one just like this, but the little pistons break really easy, and this one was in one good shape, so we kept him. And then, of course, I picked up some Matchbox, and these guys are going to, I think, be another project here real soon in trying to restore them. Some of these just need cleaning up, like this one. This is one of the easier of the super fast Matchboxes to find. Stretcher Fetcher. Is it Stretcher or Stretcha? I think it's Stretcha Fetcha. I can't read that small of writing. Stretcha Fetcha, I think is what they are. There's another one. This one's in a little bit worse shape. He needs his wheel fixed there, so I thought we could play with those, bring them back to life. This is one of my favorite castings of all time. This guy's in real sad shape, but he's mostly there. I figure we could maybe clean him up, play with that windshield, see if we can't clean it up. The restoration videos are usually relatively easy, and I don't think they'll take as much of my supplies as what I'm used to having. So here's another one. Again, I have all these in mint condition, but I thought we could play with it. The windshield's in pretty good shape, which is what attracted me to these. Usually if the windshield's trashed, you can't do much with it. This one doesn't take much more than just some cleaning. It's not as old as the others. It's a Mustang, I believe. Yeah, Mustang. This one had the opening hood on it. Not as old as the other two. Here's another one. This guy just needs probably some cleaning up and a little bit of chrome on those tires, on those rims. Might take it apart, clean it up, but didn't pay. I only paid $1 or 50 cents each for these. There's another one. This one's probably gonna get painted. It's in a little bit worse shape, or at least it looks like it. It might just need some dusting off. So that's what, oh, one more thing. Sorry, I was about to wrap that up. I did find a few Real Riders, and again, the show I went to, I can get Real Riders at the store, but I've got boxes of Real Rider cars, donor cars packed, and I don't really want to spend a bunch of money on just getting a few more. And I'm used to usually paying $1.50 or $2 each. I can just wait until the Hot Wheels show and the national show to pick some more up. But I did find these, and they were only, the person who was selling them for $5. I'm going to zoom out. No, we're going to back this up. And you've seen these. These are the team transport vehicles. This is one of the not as favorites. But I figured for $5 it came with 2 sets of wheels. So couldn't go wrong, and I know I can use the car wheels, and I'm pretty sure I can use the truck wheels, or I can use the truck. So for $5, couldn't go wrong, and I just got 2 sets of them, so here's the other. So I've got 4 of those, and I figure with the wheels on those, I may keep one of the Nissans, but use the wheels on the truck probably. I'm gonna put in a cut here, and I'm gonna show you the equipment I've got to work with, just so you know where we're gonna start up. I'll be right back. So here's what we have to work with. The once mighty workshop has been cut down to just this. And yeah, it's I don't have a lot, but you don't need a lot to do at least some basic customs. So you can see I've already stripped the paint off of a few of them here. These are probably the ones that we're going to start with. I do have my Dremel, and you can see I do have enough of the masking tape, some paint. I do have my airbrush. Wouldn't travel without my airbrush. I've got all the Dremel bits. I pretty much have everything I need, I think, to do some simple customs to start with. The only thing that I still need, that I need to order before I start, is going to be some water slide paper, and I need some small files, because these castings are going to need to be cleaned up before they're painted. And I need some primer. I forgot to get primer at the store the other day, but I do have some rattle cans to start with, and like I said, I do have the airbrush and the compressor also. So I should mention I'm also in an apartment, and that's going to make working a little tricky. So all these things together are what we're going to be dealing with over the next couple videos as I start to put together a couple customs. So I think this is going to be better suited as a kind of a beginner's show. We've already done a few of those, but this time around it really will be beginner, because I don't even know what parts and pieces I'm still going to need to make the kind of customs that I want. So that's going to do it for this show, and this one's pretty short. I just wanted to kind of show you what we're working with. My hope is in the next show we're going to dive into actually starting to make some things, or at least setting up this workshop so that it's functional. That may be where we have to start. So that's gonna do it. Bye bye.